Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Well, come on in here and sit down with me. Get yourself something hot or cold to drink. Open your Bible up if you can. And we're going to study today in Psalm 86, verses 4 through 7. Now, yesterday we began the Grand Supplication, which is what I entitled this psalm, because it is a prayer of David, and my goodness, is it a wonderful prayer. We saw all of David's supplications that start this psalm off. He's asking for preservation and salvation and mercy. He identifies himself as poor and needy, and he asks the Lord to be merciful to him. He begins by saying, "Bow down your ear, O Lord." So he uses here the tetragrammaton, the Lord's name. O Lord, hear me. Of course, it's pronounced and translated Lord. You never say the tetragrammaton. Now we're going to have the tetragrammaton again here in verse 6. And you'll notice if you have an authorized text or a text that treats this rightly, the first word there, the bow down the ear, O Lord, is all caps because that's the tetragrammaton. That clues you into what word is being translated. But then you'll notice there in verse 3, you have O Lord, but it's spelled, how you would expect, capital L, lowercase O-R-D. So that's not the Lord's name. That is the word Adonai, which is used here. How many times? 7 times in this psalm we have the word Adonai. 4 times we have the Lord's name used. So we're going to see the Lord's name used quite a bit and the word Adonai used quite a bit and the word for God used 6 times in this prayer. So we know who he's addressing. There's no question about it. He is addressing the Lord. So we have the addressee, we have the addresser, and we have the subject. This is a prayer of supplication. Verse 4, let me read 4 through 7. Rejoice the soul of thy servant, for unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. For thou, Lord, art good and ready to forgive, and plenteous in mercy unto all them that call upon thee. Give ear, O Lord, unto my prayer, and attend to the voice of my supplications. In the day of my trouble I will call upon thee, for thou wilt answer me. That's verses 4 through 7 here in Psalm 86. Notice again we have more of this supplication. Rejoice the soul of your servant, he says. Give ear, there in verse 6, unto my prayer. Attend to the voice of my supplication. So that's 3 times now that he has asked the Lord to hear him. Well, actually 4 times, because he begins there in verse 1, bow down thine ear, O Lord. And then in verse 3, be merciful unto me, for I cry unto thee daily. And then we have in verse 4, rejoice the soul of thy servant, for unto thee I lift up my soul. In verse 6, give ear, O Lord, unto my prayer, and attend to the voice of my supplications. So he's continually asking the Lord to hear. What I want to point out today is verse 5. For thou, Lord, art good and ready to forgive. Here's the first of the 3 verses that contain such powerful theology. It tells us about the character of God. Lord, you're good and ready to forgive. That's who he is. He's ready to forgive. You're plenteous in mercy unto all them that call upon thee. So friends, don't think that the Lord's not going to hear you because of what you've done. He's plenteous in mercy, and he's ready to forgive. Did you know that? David tells us that very plainly here, doesn't he? This tells us about who it is that we're praying to. He is able to forgive, and he's ready to forgive, and he's good. This reminds me of one of my favorite verses in the Psalms, Psalm 119:68. O Lord, thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. And so here it is again. Lord, you're good and ready to forgive. This is what verse 68 of Psalm 119 would say, you do good. His do-gooding is he's ready to forgive, and he's ready to show mercy unto all them that call upon him. Are you ready to do that? Oh, friends, please call on the Lord today. He's ready to forgive. He's good. He's plenteous in mercy. He's plenteous in mercy to all who call upon him. And you might be in verse 7. You might say, in the day of my trouble. Well, you might say, I'm experiencing that day right now, today. This day, I'm experiencing that trouble. Well, call on the Lord. Call on the Lord, and He will answer you. Join me again tomorrow, and we'll look at verses 8 through 10 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.